हर्षा, मैं आपको होस्ट बना के जा रही हूँ।
Ma'am, shall we start? Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the third virtual Global Summer School on Law and Ethics of Artificial Intelligence, organized by Knowledge Teas in collaboration with South Ural State University, Management and Science University, the Ural State Law University, Manipal University, Jaipur, Sohar University, Sultan Idris Education University, Moscow State University. My name is Srishti Agarwal, and I will be the moderator for this session. We are glad to have you join us today. The host university for this session is Knowledge Teas Education Hub. Now, without any further ado, I would like to welcome our speaker for this session, Dr. Nitish Kumar Upadhyay, on the topic Cybercrime and IHL. Nitish sir is currently serving as Associate Professor of Law Symbiosis, Law School, Noida, and Research Advisor, South Ural State University, Russia. Sir is also serving as guest faculty at Romanian American University, Romania, and International Research Fellow, University of Milan, Italy. He has completed his doctorate and post-graduation from the WB National University of Juridical Sciences, Kolkata. His numerous works has also been published in various journals, and he has 35 plus publications to his credit. He received various scholarships and grants in the past, including Gage, Turkey, ILEC, New York, Hague Academy, Netherlands, Gage, Mexico, Gage, Indonesia, Renegassen, France, Pro Bono, Hong Kong, etc. He has also delivered lectures on various institutions of international repute, including Regensburg University, Germany, Daffodil University, Bangladesh, South Ural State University, Russia, American Romania University, etc. His area of interest is human rights, IHL, refugee law, cyber law, and technology law. He is recently appointed as a member of Academic Friends Network of the United Nations Human Rights Council Advisory Committee. Welcome, sir. Over to you now. Please proceed with the session.
I hope I'm audible.
Sir, your voice is low.
Just wait. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Dr. Nitish. As a brief introduction is already being given. Today we'll try to discuss two very important issues related to AI. One is related to cyber warfare, cyber laws, and other is related to international humanitarian law. So when you're talking in terms of artificial intelligence, I hope a lot of professors have already come and discussed the very basics of AI. So I'm not going to discuss again what exactly is AI, what is deep learning and feature learning, but I'll just show you a bit of a graph or a picture in which you can understand. So AI, artificial intelligence, is a bigger umbrella under which you have machine learning and then you have deep learning. So when you have a lot of data with you, you can go for a deep learning, whereas when a data is less and you want the machine to learn of its own self, then you go for a machine learning. And all these deep learning, feature learning, machine learning comes under the artificial intelligence. When you're talking in terms, let's recently there is a lot of news and debate and discussion, and people were awestruck after hearing that okay, there is something called Chat GPT and how it's working. So Chat GPT works on a module of machine learning. Chat GPT works itself on machine learning. Whatever information you feed, it keeps on reading, keep on understanding and learning from it, and then increase its data. And so whatever we are trying, we are increasing the potential, we are increasing the potency of Chat GPT to work. It's not based on deep learning a lot. It's more of a machine learning tool where you write and it gives responses. I've used it for writing mails, concept notes for conference papers. No doubt you cannot use it for paper or research paper writing or article writing, because all the tools, all the plagiarism detection softwares, whether it's Turnitin, Urkund, or Authenticate, they are now capable to identify that if you have written something by using a Chat GPT or any other AI tool, including Quillbot and all. So that's one part of a thing, that it is making our life easy. So it's good that AI has come up. Now, if I have to write a letter to my dean that, okay, I want a leave for this particular day, I just need to write in a Chat GPT to write a leave letter for so and so date with so and so reason, and it will do my task. Even I can define that, okay, write it within 100 words or write it in 200 words, and it will write the same. So if you want a lengthy letter or a lengthy mail, you can go for 200, 300, 500 words, where if you want it to be very precise and concise, maybe you can fix up a word limit saying, write it within 50 words or write it within 80 words or 100 words. So this saves a lot of time. But we are also exposing, when I'm talking in terms of cyber warfare or cybercrime, we are exposing ourselves to ChatGPT, not just ChatGPT, but any other algorithmic softwares, algorithms that we are using, any other digital technologies. A lot of people get confused between AI and DT, with artificial intelligence and digital technology, and they think that both are same. But there is a slight difference when you're talking in terms of digital technology. Or digital technology devices may or may not use AI, whereas artificial intelligence devices will definitely be using their algorithmic process to understand and do perform tasks like human mind. So when you're talking in terms of cyber warfare, how AI can impact cyber, you can also have issues, let's take, related to world around, that there are people who are trying to hack. Now, earlier it was only computer softwares people were worrying about. Now it's not just computer softwares, it's more than that. You have to also worry about your privacy. And if somebody in some other country is not happy with the country, there is an armed conflict of a high intensity or a low intensity. Depends, it could be of any intensity. And they want to disrupt the public services, they want to disrupt the military codes, they want to disrupt anything related to your government, any nuclear codes or something, they can do it. Protecting while having a cyber world or cyber laws, it was little easy. But when you're talking in terms of AI, can you imagine there is an AI which protects, let's take human rights, IHL, cyber warfare, data protection, and there can be an AI whose basic job is to do this. There can be a computer who's working on AI module and whose basic job is to steal information. Or let's take to do cyber attack. Now, when you're talking in terms of cyber warfare, it's a very loose word that when you're talking in terms of Indian laws, Information Technology Act do not define cyber terrorism. And basically, if you talk, it does not define much of the cyber crimes. It only defines impersonation, privacy, stealing the computer resource, computer document. It talks about cyber terrorism. That's all. Other is intermediary responsibilities, and under section 43, cyber torts. So if you are doing anything which is creating some kind of a wrong to the other person, they can claim certain damages from you. But there are a lot of other type of cyber crimes. And if I name, can you try writing? Let's see how much we can achieve. Can you just write a name of a cybercrime in a chat box? I want to see how much we can attain. So I'll start with first three: adware, malware, and spyware. So these three from my side. Logic bombs, ransomware, very good. Phishing, fine. Deepfakes, yeah, something really important nowadays. Cyber vandalism, fine. Cyber terrorism, fine. Denial of service, DOS attack. IoT hacking. Just hold on for a second. Okay, hijacking, hacking, hacktivism could be there. Data theft is there. Y2K, Zeus, zombie, Trojan horse, blue snuffing, blue jugging, blue jacking, DDoS, DOS, Nigerian fraud, 492 attack, 428 attacks. So there are around, let's take, when I was a student long time back, I have not studied cyber to be very honest in last 10 years almost, but there were 80, 85 types of different types of cyber crimes that were there. And in Indian law, basically you have an umbrella clause protecting most of them, but you do not have specific words or specific laws for all these cyber crimes. So definitely you have for impersonation, identity theft, privacy, stealing computer resource, cyber terrorism. But for most of the other crimes that we have named, there is nothing much. When you're talking in terms of cyber stalking, yeah, there is a law. Cyberwarism, there is a law, but not for all the other cyber crimes that we have discussed. So this is just the realm of cybercrime. Understand what could happen if AI is playing its role and what AI can do. So I'll give you an example. There is a Negabot, like a chatbot. It's an advanced bot. It is prepared by some scientists to find pedophiles, people who are involving in sexual relationship with children. So what this Negabot do is, this Negabot chat like a 18-year-old girl or 16-year-old girl. The name of this Negabot is Lolita. So it enters a chat room. It tries to figure out, try to find out which all people are pedophile. How? She will make grammatical errors. She will use emojis. She will use expressions. She will use words which a 16-year-old girl is supposed to speak or write. Otherwise, if you see the chatbots, it's very predictable. You understand the answer. The answers are very standard. Whereas this Negabot, this digital technology based on AI, is more in terms of, it's look like a girl of a 16-year who's chatting to you. And now if you do anything which reflects that you are a possible, not necessarily you are a pedophile, you're involved in pedophilic activities, but if there is any possibility of you being a pedophile, then this data is accumulated and sent to the law enforcement agencies stating that these are the people you need to check. There may be probable pedophiles and they may try to harm children. So at one side, it can do such kind of a work as well. It can also, if you have seen facial recognition techniques, FRTs, the world is talking about, okay, there is FRTs and FRTs are good, but FRTs can be bad at times too. So if you just, let's take by feature learning, FRT works on feature learning. So they will place a lot of images into the AI and will try to create a module by which after looking at a face, AI will understand that it's a person of Indian origin or Russian origin or let's take a Pakistani origin because of the feature. This will map the feature and they will come to know. China is using a lot this FRTs. And in China, there is a community, Uyghur Muslims, and they're a minority there. They are being heavily surveillanced by FRTs because they look very different than Chinese. So feature learning very easily catch their movements, understand where they're going, what they're doing, how many number of Uyghur Muslims at one place. Imagine a day when China wants to do or commit an ethnic cleansing of all Uyghur Muslims. I tell you this FRT, which has the data of all the Uyghur Muslims moving from one place to other, identifying them will help them to do this ethnic cleansing. So it's as serious, to be honest. It looks not very problematic to be from the front if you see, but if you most of the AI are dual uses technology. They can have dual uses. They can do something good and they can do something terribly wrong as well. So understand an AI device, because of AI device, a genocide happening. This, no doubt, nothing had happened till now, but you can't assure that this will not happen in future. And what kind of laws you will create? There are only few countries. Let's say EU is talking a lot about laws related to artificial intelligence. They have come up with something. Earlier, EU has an artificial intelligence policy. In India, to be honest, there is few things related to remotely controlled vehicles. Then there is a Cyber Law IT Act, and there is nothing much in terms of artificial intelligence. Same like Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, they also do not have any specific law related to artificial intelligence in their country. So when you're talking in terms of, let's take cyber warfare, think of espionage by spying activity by artificial intelligence device. An artificial intelligence device attacking a financial market of a XYZ country to disturb its financial capacities, because once you hit financially, then the probability that the country will be able to continue the war decreases. They may soon end up the war because they do not have funds to fight. It's not just always manpower that is required. There is a lot of funds that is required if you are into armed conflict with any country. Think of that somebody hacks, the AI hack a nuclear code of country X and launches a nuclear weapon on country Y. Both will keep on thinking that it was X who launched a nuclear on Y, and Y will do the same on X. But there may be somebody who's sitting outside and doing all this. I'm talking in terms of things which is probable. Have not done, it's not done till now, but it's not necessary they will never happen. I'll give you an example which is not from the realm of warfare or international humanitarian law, but which is from the realm of criminal law. There is a gang war between two groups. The two gangs had a direct conflict with each other. Some open firing was done, and he was injured. He was admitted there. And after 2 days, he died because of extra doses that has been given to him of a particular medicine. The nurse was caught for murdering him. It was told that you have administered the medicine, you have administered the injection, you are responsible for the same. You have killed this particular person. You have killed the gang leader. Now, she was put behind the bar. She was there for almost 6 months. And then somebody realized, or somebody after thorough investigation find out that there was some data diddling or a tampering with the data. And where this tampering was done, somebody had a remote access of the system from which this nurse will go and see what medicine they have to give to the patient. So let's take something is to be given 100 ml. I hack the system, I change it to 1000 ml. As soon as 1000 ml is given to the patient is no more. I will again go back and I change from 1000 to 100 ml. Everybody will have the reason to believe that it was done by the nurse. But later on, she was released because it was done by the other group members. So this is intelligence, to be honest. It was just a cyber crime. And I call in terms of cyber crime as cyber murder. So this was an example of a cyber murder. Think of AI launching a missile from country A to country B by doing a hacking or by breaking a code. It could be hacking, hijacking, or hacktivism. All the through looks very similar. Hacking is full and partial control, hijacking is full control, and hacktivism is hacking and hijacking to promote hate between nations or countries and people. So finding it will be really tough. Understand that if everything is AI based, if AI can protect, AI can disrupt services as well. And somebody hacked your system, air traffic control system. Imagine what catastrophic effect it can have. Even if this is based on code, and there is an example where is a person who has not got a job, because he have not got a job, he released trillions of liters of sewage water into a river, polluting it completely. Because it was managed by some codes, and he just know the code and he breached it. He did it. So there can be an issue. Air traffic control, financial market, utility providers, traffic control system, not just air traffic. All these are issues when you're talking in terms of cyber warfare, and we all have seen very important, very interesting movies regarding this. Anyone who can tell me if you have seen a movies related to this, where there was a cyber hacking or something because of which there was a utility providers, their services got hampered, or there was a road traffic signals and things they got hampered. Any movie that you remember, you can type in the chat box. Anybody remembers the movie? Have you seen Die Hard? No, not yet. Okay. Talks a bit in the same direction, no problem. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. Now, how AI can be weaponized. So one is that there could be a cyber warfare. People, I have not seen a movie, but it has been shown in our OTT series Blacklist. Okay. There are a lot of other movies as well. I think there are 7 to 8 movies which is working on almost the same kind of a thing, where people have disrupted the services by doing a cyber attack. So now we are talking in terms of how AI can be weaponized. Can we use artificial intelligence to do something, at least when you're talking in terms of armed conflict or a war between nations? So answer is yes. You can use drones. United States of America has used a lot of drones to kill terrorists, to suppress their work, to control them in Pakistan, which is not even their sovereign territory. It is territory of Pakistan, but they remotely operate. These are remotely operated vehicles. You call them as drones. These drones were remotely operated from United States, and they have taken action against Pakistani nationals, especially sometimes terrorists, and they have disrupted their activities. So something good drone has done. But think of a cyber criminal who controls this drone from US and launches something against, let's take North Korea. We don't have people from both the countries here, so I'm a little safe in terms of giving their example. Understand, a US drone attacking on North Korea, and we all know what kind of country it is, North Korea. This is done by a cyber criminal who may be or may not be from US. It may be from any other country. Recently, US has lost 40% to 50% of their military secrets to a hacker. It's a recent news, I think, not even 4 or 5 months back. So now a drone attacking North Korea will definitely come back to US with more force, and this will definitely be a third world war, which will be impossible to handle or stop. Because every country has nuclear weapons, and we have the whole, if you accumulate the amount of nuclear weapons every country had, it is into 300 times. If the earth is there, we can destroy it. That much of nuclear weapon are there. So that's one problem. Understand a robo army, automated military vehicle, not just military vehicles. It could also be vehicles which are providing humanitarian assistance, ambulances and all could be there, and any other autonomous vehicle system could be there. All these things are being used or are thought to be used, or people are working, countries are working to use them into armed conflict and war. Think of them being hacked by a cyber criminal. So definitely, no doubt, again, a question. It's just merely a probability that can happen. But we need to fix our law first. So when you're using it for army, I think we need a very thorough scrutiny that we should use these technologies or AI into war or not. Robo army fighting with other country, what if somebody hacks and it fights against your own people? It could be really tragic, not even, you will not be able to understand what is happening with you, and maybe this will change the whole course of a war. So definitely these weapons, especially when you're talking in terms of armed conflict, the chances for cyber criminal to disrupt them, compromise their networks, hand over sensitive data, create inconvenience for the other armies, civilians, and people who are providing humanitarian assistance is really easy. So we need to understand these digital technologies and artificial intelligence, and then make our law in consonance. And when you're talking in terms of armed conflict, it's not just our law that will suffice the purpose, because that's not a one country. If it's a non-international armed conflict, it's perfectly all right. The company's law will be applicable. The country's law will be applicable on both the high contracting parties, but it is between two or more than two nations that definitely we require a law which is more in terms of international law on use of AI during war or use of AI during conflicts. At the UN level, there is recently, it was almost a journey, there is a treaty that everybody wanted to sign on cybercrime. So at least jurisdictional issues, and because in cybercrime you can sit anywhere and you can do anything in any part of the world. So they have come up with something where they have a consensus. All countries of the world have the consensus. So there may be a treaty on cybercrime, but AI is still a far out dream where not much things have been done till now, except EU. The European Union has done some law, they have, but at least that is taking care of 36, 37 countries of the world. But at other level, definitely we do not have some things similar. Now, all these artificial intelligence devices are, especially when we're talking in terms of autonomous vehicle, robo army, and all those things, they work on OODA loop, OODA loop. Observe. So let's take there is a drone, it will observe. It will orient itself that, okay, I have observed 3 terrorists entering a room X or a building X. Now it will decide that, okay, because my job is as the pre-filled information, I have to kill the terrorist. And now it will act. It will kill the terrorist by precision guided missiles or guns or bullets, whatever they are using. Not a lot of country is allowing this AI to complete the complete ODA loop. So it is not allowing them to observe, orient, decide, and act. Somewhere there is a human intervention. So they're saying, okay, whether you have to attack or not, that will be decided by a human being. Sitting remotely somewhere, they will fix, they will hit. Once it's like a video game, you will hit, the drone will attack. But drone is not doing of its own all these things. At least some humanitarian assistance, some human assistance is being taken care of. But when you're talking in terms, if there are autonomous vehicles which are able to do all these four without any human intervention, then it's really problematic. Because if they start attacking any XYZ country, any civilian population, any group of innocent people, you will not be able to control them because they're fully autonomous. And the world is looking forward for fully autonomous things, to be honest. So there is more and more research going on that all the decision-making power should also be given to the artificial intelligence device. I'll give you a war situation. Let's take, I am a villager. I stay in my village. There is an attack by country X on my village. I'm not a combatant. I'm not an army person, but to save my people, to save my kids, children, wife, daughters, I have carried arms in self-defense. I'm not going to attack anyone, but if anybody attacks me and my people, I will try to self-defense. You imply a drone or an artificial intelligence device which says, okay, you have to go and kill people who are combating. What is the probability that the gun that you are holding in self-defense, the AI will be able to read it? Understand it that it's just a self-defense. You are not doing a combatant activity. The AI will kill you. Why you are using the weapon? For self-defense. You are killed for self-defending yourself. There are issues with AI. There are booby traps. Some kind of dolls, radio, mobile phones, they will blast when you touch them. AI may not understand this. And if you feed this information that there can be a doll which could be a booby trap, there may be a girl of 2 years or 3 years holding a Barbie. And this AI will attack because it thinks it's a booby trap. There is something called black box syndrome. You understand, you see the results. AI always reflects, come up to that result. So I tell Shrishti is the best student in this whole AI class. That's an outcome. You can see the outcome. But what is the reason why I named her only? Why not Harshad? You don't have answer for it. So black box syndrome basically says that AI will give you result, will never tell you how, what indicators, what factors, what means it have taken care to come up to that opinion or that result. So there may be a turtle and the AI may think it's a landmine and will attack. So definitely we are not ready still to have a fully autonomous vehicle. Israel especially has suicide drones. I was reading, I'm too much interested into weapons and things related to weapons. And I have come across something called suicide drones. I said, okay, what exactly it is? It sounds too fascinating. It must be something great. Then I realized that there are certain drones Israel has prepared that, okay, if a submarine, if a ship enters their territory, this drone will enter and blast itself. It is fully autonomous. So I'm saying that people are trying to use it, make it fully autonomous. There are countries which have already done it. They are using it. There are countries who have done it, but they're not using it. There are countries which have done it, using it, but not telling anyone. So there are three different set of people. One who are trying to achieve the technology, other who have the technology and tell the world that we have the technology, and third is people who have the technology using it also, but will never tell and acknowledge that we have this particular technology, because they do not want to have another type of a arm race where people are trying to have more or more augmented uh, artificial intelligence devices or devices which are fully autonomous. So definitely we are, Harshit Saxena said 0% chance. For what 0% chance, Harshit? Because I have seen the
So,
at this end. Yeah.
yeah,
Tell me.
you actually were telling about the chances of whether AI will be able to recognize a self-defense gun with
Okay. Okay.
regards to that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fine. 0% could be anything, and I have spoken for almost 6-7 minutes since I have seen this message or any message in the chat box. So I thought, what exactly it is, I don't know. Now, cyber attack could be really issues. Uh, Understand a precision munition strikes or surveillance, reconnaissance missions. All these missions can be performed by artificial intelligence. They are able to do this. They can do the surveillance. They can do the data extraction. They can also attack. They can orient themselves. They can go for surveillance. So no doubt, definitely you can use AI in armed conflict, but definitely it comes with a lot of problems. It comes with a lot of challenges. It comes with some challenges which we do not even understand and know that, okay, this is also a challenge. Also, understand that if there is AI or there is digital technology and there is some kind of a malware, anybody who know about zero-day attack? It's a term from cyber law or cyber, not exactly from AI, but anybody knows about zero-day attack? Yes, Neha. Okay, tell me, Neha, what is zero-day attack? Fast.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Neha.
Sir, zero-day attack is something like some vulnerable software which is being inactive in some software, which is being active when some light or voice or any environmental conditions come with that situation, or some of them are like that they have a certain period which will be active after a certain period. For example, if I have put a software in some laptop and I have formatted in a way that it will be active after 5 years, so that will be automatically active after that 5 years.
Okay, very good, Neha. It's exactly same. There are two names for this. One is that we know is Y2K attack. So when 2000 have come up, 23 years back, there were millions of systems because somebody has put some virus which will be activated after a particular time period, and time was set as year 2000. So all these systems, especially desktop that time, all these desktop got corrupted. Zero-day attack basically means at the time of making it, if you include some malware, spyware, adware, Trojan horse, Zeus, anything in that particular system. So understand if the person who's creating this AI understand, especially basically based on machine learning, uh, and this virus is there, it could destabilize the overall system for which it is being used. I tell you, there are few things which it looks not very important to be protected, but are really dangerous. Think of a dam code, not dam code, it's water dam code. Somebody do a malware, somebody do a zero-day attack, and after 20 years on a one particular day, the dam releases all the water. It will be a flood in, let's take 6, 7, 10 states, and thousands of people will lose their life. Maybe something could be there in terms of war. India is fighting with country X. We release all our water, country X is all half submerged in water. Already our task is performed. Half of its population is vanished. It's killed. There may be possibility that something like this could happen. Deepfakes in war, definitely because deepfake, as already know, like I'm speaking, I have certain hand movements, certain facial expressions, eye movement. There is a voice pitch that I have, modulation that I have. Deepfakes will try to imitate everything. So the first deepfake which was coming to news was actress Scarlett Johansson MMS, which was fake basically. So it has created a face like Scarlett Johansson, it created a voice like her, features like her, and it was a pawn. So deepfakes can imitate people. When you're talking in terms of international humanitarian law or IHL, IHL says that there are two sets of responsibilities. One is command responsibility and other is individual criminal responsibility. If you commit genocide, war crime, crimes against humanity individually, you're responsible for individual criminal responsibility. But if you're commanding your juniors and subordinate to do war crime, genocide, and crime against humanity, then you will be responsible for command responsibility. Understand a deep fake giving you a signal that, okay, I am commander so and so, I am Charlie so and you have to attack this particular post. And this particular post may be not of combatants, but of civilians. You attack the civilian population, now you're responsible in international humanitarian law for your action. There can be a problem. So deepfakes can be a lot more trouble. Honeypot can lot more be in trouble during war, because whenever there will be information flow, there is a chances that the information is not coming from the right source, and war sometimes require immediate action rather than verification. So you don't have even time to verify whether the person is right or wrong. If we have received a call from the right person, and by the time you will realize you have already committed a crime under international humanitarian law, or maybe sometimes if you have a bad luck, you can be punished by the Rome Statute, ICC, International Criminal Court. No doubt Indians are free from it, Russians are free from it, Chinese are also, because we have not ratified the Rome Statute. But other countries, people definitely have to think over it. So now all these dual use technology, basically AI, can create problem by spoofing, by deepfakes, by tricking, by hijacking, by hacking, by hacktivism, by malfunctions, by behavioral manipulation to the systems, by data poisoning. They can create an atmosphere that the war will never come to an end. There is an old saying which says that always fight with your hostility or with the other person, with your enemy, in a way that once the last bullet is fired, you have a chances for handshake. So do not fight with them in such a way that you can never be a friend. But definitely when you're talking in terms of AI, this can create a situation where you have to fight in a way and you will never be able to be a friend, because there is no trust. There is a trust issue between the country, because you have used AI in such a way that deepfakes and manipulations, behavioral manipulations, malfunctionings have created such an atmosphere that the other country do not want to believe on you. And this war may end at one time, but this kind of a cold war will keep on continuing, which is not good for not just for one country, but for almost every country. Now, when you're talking in autonomous vehicle, autonomous weapon system and IHL, important questions. First is how to design these weapon, army drones, robots, autonomous vehicles, vehicles which provide humanitarian assistance, combat vehicles, combat tanks, so that they are resist hacking and abuse by the cyber criminals. So definitely we have to look forward for that. What if all these weapon falls in hand of terrorist? This is also a question. If AI is there, because see, terrorist, no IHL is applicable. IHL is applicable on belligerents, insurgents, and high contracting parties, but not on terrorists. So for terrorists, you need not to follow any law, and terrorists will definitely not follow any law. So even if you're making some law related to AI, they'll not follow. So that will be a big challenge to face. That is a big challenge that will come up. Now, there is three important requirements of international humanitarian law or war law. That is, first is military necessity and distinction. So you identify which source is a military target. Attack only such people. So you cannot attack a hospital. You cannot attack a school or a college. But you can definitely attack an army cantonment area or an army area where there are weapons that are being kept, where there is a hideouts for the soldiers. You can attack such. So anything that gives you a military advantage, that is military necessity to you. Killing school children will give you no military advantage, so do not do it. As simple as that. But as AI devices are capable of distinguishing, if you say, okay, we have feeded information, if there is any Red Cross, Red Crescent that is used by International Humanitarian Organization, International Committee of Red Cross, which provides humanitarian assistance to the countries which are in conflict with each other. So are you sure that whether it is going to read that emblem and not attack such humanitarian persons? So there is a chance that it may attack even after reading, because these emblem could be on hands, could be on forehead, could be on pants, could be on vehicles, and not necessarily from the angle which this AI weapon is looking at. The weapon is able to understand and distinguish that these are humanitarian assistance providing people, these are civilians, these are not combatants. So you have to distinguish between your targets, which target you can attack, which target you cannot attack. You cannot attack, let's take people who are in religious processions, people who are praying, people who are into temples, they're performing their duties. If they are in temple and they are doing combatant, definitely you can do it. But otherwise, if they're just performing their duties, you should not kill them. You should not do anything against them. So distinction becomes tough. Military necessity understand becomes tough for AI. And definitely the last is proportionality. How much proportional force you have to use. There is something that I have read is double tap attack. So if a drone attacks in one place, after some time it will come back and it will again attack on the same place to make sure that there is no survival of any person to whom they intended to kill. Because of this attack, there is no person, even neighbors, family members, they want to go and help the person who is in need. So somebody just lost a leg in a attack and he's crying, he's asking for help, but nobody is providing any help. So this is a violation of international humanitarian law. Also, proportional. So if somebody is having a gun, you can kill them by a gun, but not by a missile. That's not proportional. If you use missile, then it will have more collateral damage to people and population. So definitely proportionality, military necessity, and distinction is an issue. And also cyber warfare could be a big trouble for the world in future. So basically what we need to go, know your codes, understand it well, try to preserve them, protect them. Go back to the basic, monitor your logs, who's logging in, who's logging out, what kind of activity they are doing, what kind of quarter of breaches could be possible. Look for patterns. If there is any log, there is any machine learning, there is any deep learning, there is any feature learning that is happening of its own, or somebody is trying to put it into your system, try to take care of that. So with this, thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, I just want to ask that if a person who has made any automated machine of any guns or any weapons which is being used by AI, there is no human intelligence involved, then how we do fix the liability, criminal liability upon that particular AI if he has done any mistake?
See, that's a challenge because you cannot put blame on the person who created the AI, because he was never intended to kill a person who was not a part of a competent activity. So he's not responsible, to be honest. There is some mistake, genuine mistake by the AI, but you cannot punish the AI because AI is just a machine. Even if you hang him, make no sense. Chop them off into pieces, make no sense. If you try to, let's take, go on command responsibility that we will punish the person who has used the AI in the war, then that's also not that's also not correct, because sometimes you cannot control the functioning of the AI. So that's really terrible. So that's how ICRC discussion paper on use of artificial intelligence in war, the discussion paper says that it's a responsibility of the country which is using such weapons. So again, it is just talking in terms of country, not the person who created it, not the person who is using it, not the AI itself. I hope I suffice your question.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other question? So just one thing from my side, today I'll be sharing by today or by tomorrow, let's take, if not today, tomorrow, then Monday, because 2 days are off and I'm really uh, can't assure that I'll be able to give it to you or not. I'll be giving an assignment where I'll be providing you certain papers on AI, cyber laws, digital technologies, which is written by most of the speakers which have come to this particular summer school or who are going to come for the summer school. So I'll prepare a list of 10, 15. You choose the one. You have to read that paper, write a brief of it on a LinkedIn, and I'll share a form or Excel sheet where you have to just update the link where you have posted that summary. So also try to tag that person if that person is in your link that you have written their summaries. So it's a kind of article review that you have to do. By Monday. I'll try that all the articles I will accumulate in a piece of a paper. I'll give it to you. You choose which one you want to write the brief, and then paste it on your LinkedIn. If you're not using LinkedIn, then do it on Facebook. So, but if you're not using LinkedIn, I'll suggest use LinkedIn because that's the best to stay connected with people. So with this, thank you very much. Thanks for joining me for this particular session.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.